appropriate. Welcome to class. I'm not recording just yet. Hang on. I need my video is on. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to come over here and present. Shh. Class.
Yes.
Okay, welcome today. Today's Friday. TGIF. We're happy it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so tomorrow.
So tomorrow's the weekend. It is also Mrs. Stewie's birthday tomorrow.
Yeah. Same Let's sing happy birthday.
Is it who else's birthday is it tomorrow? Is it your birthday tomorrow? We share a birthday? Well, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, well, thank you. All right, should we do a happy birthday?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you guys lead it. On the count of three. Augie, you ready?
No.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Oh, time out. Oh, we got to do this again. So should we do our song or should we do the birthday song? Okay. So, all right, you guys repeat after me then. They're going to try. I don't know what I've been told. Someone here is getting old. The bad news is we sing off key. The good news is we sing for free. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Minna, Mrs. Stewie. All right, we might do that again this afternoon when we have Friday fun time, but why not do it twice? That's fun. Welcome to class. Before we get started, Mrs. Gathridge has put together this really nice slideshow for us, and it's up on the screen. My screen is frozen. Hang on a second. Now it's up on the screen. All right, so we have the Great Lakes, and if you're a bird looking down on the Great Lakes, ladies in the back row, if you're a bird looking down on the Great Lakes, it doesn't look like a map, like a black and white map like we've been looking at. It looks like a Google map, a Google Earth map. All right, so as we go through this and kind of look at these these lakes, we have to keep in mind that water flows towards the ocean, towards the sea. And in these lakes, the water that starts in Lake Superior flows down and into the other lakes and eventually will dump into the Atlantic Ocean. All right, let's do a quick little review of the lakes based on what we remember. So we use an acronym, Superman helps everyone. Can I have somebody come up to the board and point out Lake Superior? Gage was first, totally. Gage is like, oh, you gave me an easy one, Mrs. Stewie. He's pointing right here to this one. Thumbs up, sideways, or thumbs up or down. Would you agree? Or me too, I guess. Me too. You agree with them or thumbs down? What do you think? He's getting the I agree. This is Lake Superior. Gage, calling someone new.
You're all right.
Can he stump anybody? Yay, Anthony.
Thank you. No one ever
Superman. M is for Michigan. Where is Lake Michigan, Anthony? He's pointing to right here. Give me the me too or thumbs down. Me too. You agree? He's getting the I agree from the whole class. Good. Okay, call someone new.
Come on. You know
Zimma. Hank. Superman helps is Huron. All right, it goes here. So Superior kind of flows and part goes into Michigan, part goes into Huron. Lake Huron, calling someone new. Superman helps. Calling someone new. Sophia is going up for Superman helps every. Lake Erie. E stands for Erie, Lake Erie, and she's pointing right here. This is so Huron kind of flows through some rivers here and goes into Lake Erie, which is the shallowest and most polluted and most populated lake of all of the Great Lakes. Count someone new for the last one. Okay, Minna. So we're going to change things up just a little bit. Superman helps everyone. The O stands for, do you remember? Can you point to Lake Ontario? Superman helps everyone. Oh, it is the last one. So then it's that one. It's this one right here. It's the last Great Lake before it flows up into Hudson Bay and eventually into the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, you're right. That is Lake Ontario. Very, very good. Okay, so we have, here is a map, sort of like what we've been coloring in. You should recognize this. And in the gray is the Great Lakes watershed. So in the gray area would all of the water, all of the rain that falls in that gray area will go through tributaries, go through rivers and little streams, and eventually dump into a Great Lake. And the water eventually gets to the Atlantic Ocean. We talked about this already. Superman helps everyone. S is for everybody. M, H, E, O. You got it. Good. Be ready for that on a map test coming up next week. Anna. It could also be Holmes if you learned that acronym to remember, but Holmes doesn't go in order, so that's why I like this one a little better. Lake Superior is the largest and deepest and coldest of the lakes. We talked about that already. Do you know that a drop of water stays in Lake Superior for 200 years before it flows into Lake Michigan or Huron? Did you know that?
No.
200 years.
Yeah.
And then eventually it'll flow on. If you start in Duluth or by Lake Superior, how many of you have been to Duluth and dipped your toes in the Lake Superior?
Wait, no, I've been there, but dipped my toes.
Okay, it's cold.
I was there this summer.
If you would start on the shores of Duluth, go into the cold, deep Lake Superior, it would take you about 7 days by boat to get to the Atlantic Ocean, and you'd be traveling 2,343 miles. In fact, our helper today, what is on your shirt today? She's got a map of what lake, you guys?
Oh.
She's wearing a t-shirt with a map of Lake Superior right on her shirt.
Right up here.
I can't read it.
I can't bend down.
Have,
What does it say? Of all the Great Lakes, Superior is.
Of the 5 Great Lakes, only one is
only one is Superior. It is called Superior. It's the biggest, deepest, coldest of the lakes. The Lake
And
Superior.
this past summer, I went to Lake Superior, where my brother was living. My brother-in-law was living on his yacht, and he took us out on the big lake.
And what did you think out on the big lake?
It was pretty awesome, and I got sick.
Oh, you got seasick.
Yes, a little bit.
Did you go far enough out? Could you see the shoreline when you were out
Yeah.
on the lake? You could see the shoreline.
And then he turned it around on the shoreline, on North Shore, and then I felt better.
Yeah, because you could get closer to shore. The waves get pretty big out there.
It was wavy.
Yeah. In fact, as they had news coverage, Chicago was on the shores of Lake Michigan, and the waves there this last week were 13 feet high. So they crashed right in Chicago, they have a running path along Lake Michigan, and the waves were so big that they came up over the break, over the rocks and the riprap, and they smashed into the running path. I'll see if I can find that little video. I found a video, I saw it in the news actually, just of a few people running upon the path, and the waves come crashing out of the path and kind of surprised some of the runners.
And I drove the yacht. There's a picture of it, but I don't remember where the picture is on my phone.
Oh, well, when you find that picture, we'll have to share that. She got to stay on a yacht on Lake Superior. That would be pretty cool.
Well, we didn't stay on the lake and sleep on the lake.
Oh, it's probably too
We
wavy.
went back to the marina.
To the harbor. Sure. Lake Michigan has the largest freshwater dunes. Do you remember the other day when we watched the Habitat show about the Great Lakes, and they showed you sand dunes that almost looked like you were like at a desert?
Yeah, one time I was in California and we went on some of the, there's a ton of sand dunes over there.
Uh-huh.
And we saw the ocean.
And sometimes, next to the sand dunes in Michigan, I know they do this in Michigan, also in California on the sand beaches. But in Michigan, have you ever heard of a dune buggy?
Yeah.
Okay. They like go-karts with big wheels. Yep. And there's some fossilized coral by Lake Michigan. I think Lake Michigan is the one we talked about that had the trees that were fossilized. What was that called again? When trees are it was called petrified. Petrified wood is wood that's so old it's become rock. Yep, good. And there's a picture. I might even have, let's see if this is a link. Nope, that's a sand dune. It looks like a really big beach. It's called sand dunes. The state stone. This is a stone. It's a fossilized prehistoric coral. Look at that. It is pretty. It is. So this coral is so old and it's been under pressure so long it's become a rock. Stacey, go wash your hands, please. Lake Huron. We talked about how Lake Huron has the longest shoreline of all of the lakes. Oh, there's petrified trees around Lake Huron as well. Let's see. I'm not sure. She has the channel. Boats have to go through this channel in order to get down to Detroit. Oh, check out this picture. That's kind of cool. It's underwater. It's been a tree trunk that's been there so long that it's now a fossil. It's now a rock. Oh, that is a boat. Yes. Do you know? Okay, so the Great Lakes have been a trading route for many, many years. We're going to be studying early North American history, and the tribes that we're going to talk about probably didn't have boats like this. They traveled in canoes. But this channel of the Great Lakes has been a shipping port for many, many, many years. So there are many shipwrecks in the bottom of the Great Lakes.
Is that near, like here?
In the Great Lakes. Yep. We already talked about Lake Erie being the shallowest, most populated, and most polluted, and Lake Ontario is the last one. Lake Ontario is the home to Niagara Falls. Every drop of water within the Great Lakes will eventually flow through Lake Ontario. All right, and you can kind of see this border here that runs through the lakes. If you're on one side of the lake, you're in the United States. If you're on the other side, you're in Canada. And we already saw a picture of the Niagara Falls a few days ago. And yes. Did we take a survey in this class? Has anyone ever been to Niagara Falls in this class?
I've been to Sioux Falls.
Yeah, Sioux Falls is in South Dakota. Not the same falls. Not the same falls. This falls is in New York State. Okay, there is a link. I missed the link. There's one really cool link that I wanted to show you guys. I thought it was kind of neat. The shipping. Where did it go? Uh-oh. Hang on. Here it is. Maybe. Yes. Okay, so this link, I want to show you this link. Mrs. Gathridge found this. This map, the Seaway Map, you guys, this is a lifetime map. It's current right now. Every ship that is in the Great Lakes right now, because it's still a shipping port. If we start up here, this is Lake Superior, so here's Duluth, and I can click on any of these dots and see what these boats are.
Oh, my dad has an airplane.
Yeah.
It's like to track planes that are in the air.
Oh, his tracks planes. This one tracks ships. So ships they might start in Duluth, and maybe they come down here through the channel, and they might come into Lake Michigan or Lake Huron, and from Lake Huron into Erie, from Erie into Ontario, and eventually into the Hudson Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. Let's see what in Duluth right now. There's one called Vista Star, and if I click on it, Vista Star. Oh, look at that! It looks like a passenger boat. And it's stopped at the moment. And I could even click on it and find out more about it. Let's see, one out here. This one looks like it's out in the water. This one is called, it says Underway. So it's in the ocean right now. It's a big shipping freight boat. It's got a lot of freight on it. Yeah, cool, right?
How does it know if it's like moving?
Well, it's underway. Let's see, if I click on vessel details, it can probably even tell me where they're. See, 3 minutes ago, they know the vessel's location 3 minutes ago. Latitude and longitude, you're going to talk about that in 6th grade. And it's underway, so it's in en route. Cool. I'll maybe put that link in Seesaw for you guys to check out. Okay, so guys, it's time for us we've reviewed our Great Lakes. Yesterday, we were working on the next map that we need to get to know, our physical features map. So can you please find your social studies notebook? That's not what I want. Social studies notebook. Social studies notebook looks like this. And in your social studies notebook yesterday, we were working on a physical map. Did we get the mountains done? We did not get the mountains done in this class? Okay. One of my classes did, so we'll back it up again. Did we already have the Atlantic Ocean?
Yeah.
Did we already have the Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah.
Did we already have the Pacific Ocean?
Yeah.
Did we have the Great Salt Lake?
Yes.
And is that where we stopped?
Yes.
Did we have the Great Plains? No. Okay, so get out a brown colored pencil. There's my colored pencils. Brown colored pencils and the Great Plains. The plains are actually a little bit on the side of Minnesota, the west side of Minnesota. And you know that because if you drive from Detroit Lakes and you head towards the mall in Fargo, the landscape is pretty flat, isn't it? And if you look out the windows, you can see fields for miles and miles. But do you see many trees? Not many trees. And it goes into western Montana. The plains go all the way to western Montana. All of North Dakota, all of South Dakota, and there's some Black Hills and other things, but mostly it's plains. Iowa, most of Iowa, I would say probably a little bit of Missouri, maybe. We got all of Oklahoma. This is sometimes known as Tornado Alley. A lot of tornadoes and things.
Do you have any of those maps for, because she wasn't here
Yep.
yesterday.
All of my extras are in the wire basket off to the side. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There it is, and down to social studies. There we go. So this, he needs two that are identical. And if you want to do one for Wabi too, then that'd be fine. Okay, so we're going to, over here in our key, let's see, did I say Oklahoma?
Wait.
Kansas, Oklahoma. Well, it kind of gets down to the south, part of Kansas, maybe into Oklahoma. The Great Plains, the Plain States. Okay, and over here in our key, we'll shade in some brown, and we're going to write down Great Plains. The Great Plains. Yeah, the Great Plains could probably go all the way to Oklahoma. All the way, Panhandle, kind of in here, Panhandle. Right down here. Then it starts to get pretty hot. We get to the southern Texas here. Yeah, these are the Great Plains. The Plain States. Okay, Great Plains. And if you've ever been on a road trip, you start in Minnesota and head into the Dakotas, it's pretty flat. You might see some oil rigs. You go to South Dakota, you visit. Maybe you've been to Mount Rushmore and you've been to the Black Hills. And if I keep driving, I run into something else. What do I run into here? The mountains. Which mountains? I'm going west. Anna? The Rocky Mountains. No, so I switched to purple. And we're going to make these V's pretty big because the Rocky Mountains are pretty tall and pretty rocky. That's why they are called the Rocky Mountains. And the Rocky Mountains down here in New Mexico, they go through Colorado, a little bit of Utah, the west of Wyoming, into Montana, Idaho, a little bit of Idaho. It even goes up to Canada. So we're going to write down to make these V's pretty big. And then over in our key, which I'm still not really showing yet. There we go. That is. I have kind of a big upside down letter V, a big letter V upside down to be the Rocky Mountains. These are the Rocky Mountains.
Could you just write mountains?
Now, I put Rocky because we have 2 mountain ranges in the United States. So we're going to write down Rocky, but if you want to abbreviate, Brooke, if you want to abbreviate mountains as MTS, that's okay. Okay. So we have the Great Plains in brown, the Rocky Mountains right here. Give me a thumbs up if you've got those labeled. Okay, Madeline, nope, okay, good. All right, now if I go the other direction to the east, there's another mountain range, but this mountain range is older. So it's not as tall, not as rocky. There's more forests around it. What's the name of the mountain range to the east? Brendan, the Appalachian Mountains. So I'm gonna make these V's a little smaller because they're not as tall. They're older. They've been weathered by wind and rain and sunshine. And Appalachian in your key, it's going to be a little smaller V. Appalachian is spelled A-P-P-A. I think I maybe spelled that wrong in the A-P-P-A-L-A-C-I-A-N, Appalachian. MTS for Appalachian Mountains. All right, so those of you who are joining us at home or in other classrooms, this we had gotten this far in the last video. So starting from here, this is going to be new now. All right, so we have the Great Plains. We've got a big Rocky Mountain range. We have the smaller Appalachian Mountains, which are a little older, so they've just been knocked down a bit. What other sources can we add? What physical features can we add? All right. Yes.
Maybe the states that were mostly informed in the gold rush.
Okay, but we're going to go back so far that the state lines right now are helping us out, but we're going to go back to a time where there weren't state lines. So these are just here to help us right now. We're not going to really use them. Go quickly. Yes, go quickly. Okay. One thing I'd like you to include here is we have this Great Salt Lake right here. And I'm going to have you kind of shade in a little orange area around it. I'm going to use orange. And then in my key, this is the Great Salt Lake, which is where a lot of water kind of goes to from around it, from the basin around it. So the Great Salt Lake is what's called in the Great Basin. So I'm going to add orange and I'm going to say Great Basin. Great Basin. Okay. Great Basin. And I'm going to add hot, red hot. Does anyone have a guess? Where is the hottest place in the United States on many, many days? Most days of the year, the hottest, driest place in the United States. Isaiah, what do you think?
Texas?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Barrett?
Arizona?
It might be in, no, it's not. It's not in Arizona. It's in California. Ooh, now more hands went up. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Death Valley.
Ooh, good job. Death Valley. So Death Valley is in California, but it's kind of on the border. Death Valley is sort of close to Nevada. right in here. I'm going to see if I can get it right here. So here's Nevada. It's going to be in here somewhere. So we're going to label the dot. What is that? Death Valley. I'm going to have to flip this around, and I can't write upside down. I can, but Death Valley. Super hot. Super hot. Hot, 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 hot. How are we doing? So far, so good? Kind of. Okay, so all around this, though, too, is going to be pretty hot. It's desert. This is all pretty hot. Pretty hot. Hot, hot, hot. And dry. All right, so now we have these really awesome maps started. The only other thing that I want to add to it that's going to be super important that you know is rivers. Yep, it'll be part of our map test. What is going to be, we've already talked about this as a natural border boundary. It actually is a river that starts in Minnesota. Some of you have been to the headwaters, not far from here. You might have camped in the headwaters. What river am I talking about? Stacy, what do you think? The mighty Mississippi. So if you find Minnesota, here's Minnesota. Here's Minnesota. And it starts kind of up here near us a little bit. It flows north, and then it eventually flows south, and it just keeps going south to the border of Wisconsin. And it flows all the way. Oh, you guys, this is going to be our last thing for today. This river flows all the way down. It forms the border of a lot of states, and it dumps into the Gulf of Mexico. And what did we call this one? The mighty Mississippi. So as soon as you have the Mississippi River, that's all the time we'll have for today. So we'll start with the Mississippi River and start from here tomorrow, Monday. Have a good weekend. Mississippi, Mississippi River. Mississippi River starts in Minnesota and dumps into the Gulf of Mexico. It'll be the longest river in the 48 states, contiguous lower states of the United States. Brooke.
The Mississippi River is the fourth largest river
In the world. It's one of the largest in the world. It's not the largest, but it's one of. Yes. Brooke said it's the fourth. We'll have to look that up. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. I need to end our class for today.
I'll see you later.
And we will see you later, alligators. And we're done for today. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you on Monday. Bring that to math, please.